Virgo, this is your week ahead astrology forecast by Astrology Motivation from Born Without Boundaries. In this video, we're going to go over the major planetary aspects and transits and how they impact your natal sun for the week of June 2nd to the 8th. I have my notes written down, so if you see me looking down, that's why, because I'm reading my notes. We're going to start really broad with those things that everybody should be aware of, and then we're going to focus that down into Virgo-specific things that you should be aware of. And then we'll break it down into the decans. And a decan is a set or group of 10 degrees. There are 3 decans in each zodiac sign, because every zodiac sign is a total of 30 degrees. All of astrology is based on geometry, so it's the angles that 2 planets form in the sky that create the aspects between them. The aspects are the relationship or the way that these planets' interaction are going to impact you. And it's a big difference between what angles are formed based on where your sun sign is, based on where your sun is located in your zodiac sign. So one Virgo will be very much differently impacted than another Virgo, and that's why one of the many reasons why horoscopes or traditional horoscopes are just crap. So we do it differently here on Astrology Motivation. If you don't have the exact location, or if you don't know where your sun is, the degree your sun is located on in Virgo, that's okay. All you need for this video, to enjoy this video and get something out of it, is to know when your birth date is. But if you want more accuracy, then go get your natal chart. And your natal chart is, you can get it free on many different websites. Just search it, free natal chart. You'll need your birth date, which you already have, your birth time, and your birth location. All of that's found on your birth certificate. It takes a couple of seconds and you'll have your whole natal chart. And if you love astrology, this is the first place to start. Getting your natal chart is the first place to start to get deeper into it and to understand it on a more intimate level. And yeah, it's just amazing. So definitely go get that, but you don't need that to enjoy this video, as I will be estimating, just as an estimate, the correlating birth dates, the birth dates that correlate to the different degrees. Just an FYI. So the big stuff. We have a full moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is in a natural square to Virgo because it is a mutual sign. It's a mutual mutable sign. Now, depending on where that full moon happens, and this full moon is happening between 13 and 14 degrees, it is, it just depends on what relationship your natal sun has with it, because it's not necessarily square to your natal sun, but for some of you it is, and we're going to talk about that. This is a full moon in Sagittarius, so it's begging us to release those things that have confined us and get out of our shell so that we can expand and grow. This is an expansive moon. It's curious, it likes excitement, and it doesn't like to be held back. A beautiful part about it is trying to Chiron, which means it's healing. Hopefully healing those things that have kept you confined or restricted or restrained. And by especially things, I mean philosophies or beliefs that you've integrated into your reality when they're not really reality. They're just your perspective on it, and perspectives can change. So if you've had any confining or restrictive beliefs or philosophies, this is when it gets pushed out or really challenged. So for some of you it can be liberating, for others it can be a very challenging and emotional couple of days, because we'll start to feel this between the 3rd and the 5th. It happens at 11:40 something around there, Eastern Standard Time. So that means in all of the US we'll be able to see it. We'll get a beautiful view of this moon, as long as it's not cloudy, because it's happening at nighttime. Over in Europe, and then in through, I would say most of Africa, and then Asia, the Middle East, Asia. You guys, it's happening on June 4th, because it's happening so late at night over on this side of the globe. Over on that side of the globe, past the Atlantic, it's definitely going to be happening toward the morning. So you won't get the best shot of it, but you'll still be impacted by the energy. And then we go into a couple of other things that are happening. a little bit more intense than the full moon, actually. On the 5th, Venus is going to be moving into the sign of Leo, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. She is a bit of a diva when she gets there, and can be a little bit like demanding of attention and affection, but also very willing to give it. Very loyal energy, but very proud as well. Very sort of peacocky, I would say. She's very much a peacock in Leo, which also, once again, is not bad. But there is a huge aspect that is impacting that transit, and that is Pluto is in opposition to Venus, and Jupiter is square to Venus while this transit happens, and for basically that first week while Venus is in Leo. So this is going to be, could be a very humbling experience to a lot of us, especially where our value systems are concerned, our looks are concerned, our vanity is concerned, and our money is concerned. So this, to me, is the big event this week, not necessarily that full moon. Though it could set us up to be humbled, so we have to let go of some of these self-limiting beliefs and find other things or other opportunities to believe in. So I think the universe works all together that way. We also have a continuing square between Jupiter and Pluto that's been that way for like 2 weeks now. It just intensifies everything. It makes everything more relentless and less avoidable. And then we have this curious and curiouser interaction, which will directly impact you guys, which we'll get into. The Mercury conjunction with Uranus. This happened a couple of weeks ago, actually like 3 or 4 weeks ago it happened when Mercury was in retrograde. And now that it's gone direct, it is once again conjunct to Uranus. This is a very curious, very intellectual, brilliant, but also rebellious and surprising energy. So what you say and who you say it to and the conversations that you have can come out of left field, and the thoughts that you think can come out of left field. This could also be brilliant energy though as well. So get ready to surprise yourself and expect the unexpected this week. So let's talk about Virgo specifics. And I always focus on the ruling dignitary, what it's doing, how it's interacting, how it's being impacted, because somehow this will color the flavors of your week. Mercury. Mercury is your ruling dignitary. We already know it's going to be conjunct Uranus. The perfect conjunction at 20 degrees Taurus, which is actually trine to some of your natal suns, and we'll talk about it, is on the 4th. But basically all week long through the 7th, through basically almost the end of the week, they're going to be within a 4-degree conjunction of each other. So this is a tight conjunction all week long, and it will be impacting you all week long. Surprising conversations, curveballs, and rebelliousness. If things have been stirring in your mind that just have been sort of stagnated, well, this is going to kick you out of it. A lot of technology interacting here. Tech may become a big part of your week. A brilliant mind for it, and interesting conversations, like things that interest you will surprise you this week. By the 6th, Mercury is going to be trine to Pluto, which means that you will be harmonizing. There's a harmonization or a fluency when it comes to how you talk or communicate in order to change things, in order to get change done, metamorphosis change. This isn't just random change. When it involves Pluto, it's permanent, it's extreme, it's intense, but it's also psychic. So a lot of interactions between Pluto and Mercury are very psychic in nature, very exploratory, research, or investigative in nature. So there is a sense of discovering things and finding things out toward the end of the week for a couple of days. Mercury moves real fast. For this week, it's moving between 18 and 26 degrees Taurus. It moves like 8 degrees a week. That's crazy fast. I mean, except for the moon, nothing else moves that quickly. I don't even think the sun. No, the sun doesn't revolve around the sun, does it? But no, I don't even think the Earth moves around the sun that fast. It's quick. So it's quick thought. It won't last that long, but oh my God, what you would explore and discover and find. It's a great day for research or even digging into your gut and trusting your psyche, not your necessarily even your intuition. It's a little bit more spiritual than that when with regards to Pluto, and you could find yourself having a lot of dreams that are communicating things that you need to know, psychic premonitions, or all of those things could be happening to you by the 5th, 6th, 7th of this week. By the 7th of this week, your Mercury is also sextile to Neptune, which is once again wicked, wonderful energy for creating, especially for composing. It's very musical. It's very artistic. It's extremely creative. It is legitimately being able to communicate or speak or write down your dreams, your imagination. I mean, this is like major artist stuff, major novelist stuff. This is major creativity. So definitely allow your creative juices to flow from like the 7th into next week. It's going to be a real great opportunity for you. This will be a helpful energy. Let's go into the decans. So if your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Virgo, you are a decan or Virgo 1. This usually correlates to Virgos who were born in August. So from the 22nd through, say, the 31st of August, you would be about then. It could be a little bit different around the 31st, but around, definitely if you were on the Leo cusp through like the 30th, 31st, you guys are Virgo 1s. Your natal suns are trine to Jupiter conjunct the North Node. They're not conjunct the North Node. Your natal suns are trine to Jupiter as it is conjunct the North Node. This is happy news and tranquility for your future. This is a wonderful potential for your future. This is looking towards your future and expanding and growing and opportunities opening up and very much being optimistic about a new direction that you're going. This could be with your job, your relationship, but you'll start to see this is actually really beautiful energy and it's going to be with you for a couple more weeks. You also have a restrictive opposition to Saturn. So this just means that you're highly active when it comes to work and you're very hard on yourself. You could be almost restrictively difficult on yourself and having some conflicts when it comes to authority, rules, laws, regulations, obligations, promises that you've made in the past, or father figures or authority figures. So that's for the next year that crunch is happening. Just an FYI. And then there's also, if you're at the very cusp, so if you're at the Leo cusp, there is a quincunx to Pluto. There's also a quincunx to Neptune. What does that mean? It's hard to say. It's more just frustrating. You don't know what you believe in. You're not sure what you believe in, or you're feeling that your faith is in flux. And that's fine. But it's also frustrating because you'd rather be getting things done. You, as a Virgo, tend to look more toward the pragmatic and what's happening here and now. So give yourself a little extra time to be more spiritual over this next couple of years, because what you are integrally believing in is changing. And it's frustrating your 3D real world experiences. And where you see those conflicts, you're going to be challenged to basically, how do I rectify this? What's going on? Do I change my beliefs, or do I change the people or places that I'm in? Because I'm seeing that they don't they don't gel. So what is my sincerity and how do I stand in it? Very philosophical. That's over the next couple of years though. You are also sextile to the South Node, which means opportunities coming from what you're already good at. Your predominant opportunities are going to be coming from your talents, what you're sure of in yourself. So those of you with low self-esteem will have a little bit more of an issue with this, because you don't give yourself credit for what you're good at, and you probably ignore the things that you're naturally talented at, shoving them away, like, oh, I can't make any money out of that, or I can't make a career out of that. And yes, you can. I guarantee there's somebody on this earth that's making millions of dollars doing exactly what you say is worthless. So it just depends on your confidence levels. If you are a confident person and you have a lot of faith in where you've been and your accumulated experience and what you understand and already know, this is where the opportunities are going to come and the doors are going to open up wide. Let's talk about Decan 2. So Virgo 2s. Virgos who were born basically through September 1st through the 10th, basically the first 10, 11 days of September. You are Virgo 2s. This is an estimate now. It's definitely if your natal sun is between 10 and 19 degrees Virgo. Your natal sun is very active around the full moon because it's square to the sun and square to the full moon. So it's you guys that are going to be really getting the most emotional impact and seeing the biggest challenges to growth and expansion and getting outside of your comfort zone or opening yourself up to new ideas. But if you figure out how, oh my God, the rewards that you'll reap. But it will be a little bit more intense and emotional for you. You are, by the 4th, also going to be trine to Mercury. Up through the 4th, you'll be trine to Mercury. But then that moon hits and Mercury moves on, and there's a sense of the comfort levels are not there, right? And it's like, oh my God, I gotta all of a sudden be forced with this square, get out of my comfort zone, and it could be challenging for a couple of days and super emotional. Just an FYI. You are also quincunx to Chiron. Chiron is trine to this moon, so it's almost like there's something there to heal that is not healing, that is frustrating you more than it is teaching you anything. So it's outside of your comfort zone that you're going to get the answers to how to heal, but you've got to be willing to trust it. That's your challenge this week. Virgo 3s. Those of you who are born definitely at the Libra cusp, up through maybe the 11th, maybe the 11th through the end of Virgo season. If your natal sun is between 20 and 29 degrees Virgo, that's definitely you. Your natal suns through the 5th of this week, if you're at the very cusp, so say you're at, maybe you're the 21st of September, the 20th, the 21st of September, your natal suns will be sextile to Venus all week. But for most of you, it's up through the 5th. Venus will be sextile to your natal suns. As she enters into Leo, she'll start to drop off for a lot of you. That sextile is opportunities and fluency when it comes to feeling good, looking good, loving who you are, not just loving who you are, being naturally charismatic and having a grace and flow and having opportunities open up because of this. Venus is, for most of this week, in Cancer still, so it could be opportunities opening up because your family loves you so much, or just your fluency with how to nurture and take care of things. It could also be just being really good with money. It doesn't mean that all those opportunities suddenly drop away. It means that the extra push and extra help from the universe won't be there as much. But for those of you born at the cusp, it'll still be there all week. By the 4th on, your natal suns, especially those of you born around the 11th, maybe the 12th, will be trine to Mercury and trine to Uranus. So you guys will be trine to the Mercury-Uranus conjunction. They're actually conjunct all week long, so you'll be feeling this all week long, but when they're perfectly conjunct on the 4th, you will be trine to this. So this is some brilliant breakthrough shit. And if you think weird and strange and wonderful thoughts, or you get these odd communications, or you speak in a different way, this is going to have a very harmonious and healing impact. So it's kind of like getting good news from a strange place. But you'll know it. You'll know that it's right. And then if you're at the cusps, your natal suns are trine. Hold on a second. Yeah, if you're at the cusps, if you're at the Libra cusp, your natal suns are trine to Pluto, and in opposition to Neptune. So what does that mean? Opposition to Neptune can be pretty difficult because things get really hazy and you lean too much on fantasy. So if you have a good friend, please don't be stubborn. Listen to them and say, I think this is too good to be true. believe them and research a little bit deeper. That's for the next couple of years. It could just kind of make you fantasize and be more creative. So if you find a creative outlet for your fantasy, for getting lost in your dreams, then that could be really good for you to help, get the energy out that way. That would be really good for you. This is going to last a couple of years. It's been a couple of years. It'll be a couple more. So just know that that's for all of you. But the cusps, if you're at the cusp, so if you're at, say, like the 20th, 21st, your natal suns are trine to Pluto and will continue to be trine to Pluto. This means metamorphosis. This means change. This means your wings are about to pop out of the cocoon. So let it happen. Let the change happen. It's actually very, very healing energy and very should be welcome energy, to be honest with you. Those transitions that could be really tough will feel really natural and you'll feel really ready for them. You let me know in the comments below. I love you guys so much. And hopefully you will subscribe to this channel to help the channel grow. Ring the notification bell to know when I upload all your favorite content here. Give this video a thumbs up, and then come on over to Born Without Boundaries Tarot for your week ahead tarot card reading. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye, Virgo.